Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to take control of your destiny? To stop living like everyone else and rise above the noise that surrounds us? To step out from the shadows and build a life that's not only extraordinary, but one that leaves a lasting impact on the world? The choice is yours. There are those who play life small. They keep their heads down, go through the motions, and convince themselves that the dream life they want is reserved for someone else. The lucky few, the chosen ones. Then there are the 1%. The ones who don't settle for mediocrity, the ones who refuse to let life pass them by without making their mark. They stand out not because they were born with more talent or wealth, but because they understand something that most people don't. Success is not given, it's earned. But how do you join that elite 1%? How do you stop just watching others win and start winning for yourself? The answer isn't found in waiting for the perfect moment or hoping for a big break. The answer lies in the relentless pursuit of greatness, in the daily decisions you make, in the sacrifices you're willing to endure, and in the mindset you cultivate along the way. Let me tell you something. To be in that 1%, you need to start by making a decision. A decision to never settle for less than your best. A decision to break away from the crowd and choose a path that will demand everything from you. It won't be easy, and it won't always be fun. But one thing is for sure. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to go the distance even when no one is cheering you on, you will become unstoppable. Success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who show up day after day and put in the work even when no one is watching. The 1% don't need motivation because they've built the habits, the routines, and the discipline that fuel their journey. They understand that success is not just about the big wins, but about the small, consistent actions that add up over time. But this journey, my friends, is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who are willing to make the sacrifices that others aren't. It is for those who are willing to stay disciplined and focused when everything else seems easier. It is for those who understand that the road to success is not a straight line, but one filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But here's the key. Every challenge, every failure, and every setback is just an opportunity to grow stronger. The 1% don't let obstacles stop them. They use them as fuel to push harder. They understand that nothing worth having comes easy. It takes relentless action, it takes discipline, and it takes a mindset that refuses to accept defeat. Today I want to challenge you. Are you ready to break away from the pack? Are you ready to take responsibility for your future? Because success is waiting for those who are willing to step up and take control. It's waiting for those who will fight for their dreams, no matter how tough the road gets. It's waiting for you. This is your moment. Your time to rise above the ordinary. To be among the 1% who didn't wait for life to hand them success but built it with their own hands. So I ask you now, will you be one of them? Will you step up, take action, and start building the life you were always meant to live? Let's get started. This is your time. Step up and become the 1%. Be among the 1% of people. Most people spend their lives watching others win. They sit on the sidelines, clapping for the strong, cheering for the bold, and admiring the successful, but never truly realizing that they too were born with the same power, the same potential. You see, there's a reason only 1% make it to the top. There's a reason only a few rise above the noise, break through the struggle, and live life on their own terms. It's not about luck. It's not about talent. It's about mindset. It's about discipline. It's about the decisions you make when nobody's watching, when the world is quiet, and it's just you against your goals. The 1% aren't just born with a special gift. They're not waiting for a break. They've chosen to live their lives differently than the rest. While the majority of people are stuck in the cycle of mediocrity, they've taken a different path. They've made a decision to pursue excellence, regardless of how difficult the journey is. The harsh truth is this: the 1% have a unique mindset. They have the ability to push past fear, discomfort, and uncertainty. They don't wait for things to be perfect. They understand that perfection never comes. What matters is starting and learning as you go. Every day is a chance to grow, to improve, and to move closer to the goals they've set. What separates the 1% from the 99% is simple. They don't let circumstances dictate their future. They take control. While others are complaining about what they don't have, the 1% are creating their own opportunities. They see every setback as a lesson. They see every obstacle as an opportunity to grow stronger. They don't wait for motivation to strike. They create their own motivation through their actions. And that's where your journey begins. If you want to be in the 1%, you must be willing to step out of your comfort zone. You must choose discomfort over complacency. Success is not about being the smartest or the most talented. It's about being the most disciplined, the most focused, and the most persistent. You have to do the work when no one is watching, when no one is cheering you on. It's about building habits that will carry you forward when the excitement fades and the world gets tough. Think about it. When the alarm goes off in the morning, do you hit snooze? Do you let the comfort of your bed win over the drive to be your best self? When things get tough, do you back down and say, "This isn't for me"? Or do you push forward? Do you rise up and face the challenge head on? Because that moment, when the world is telling you to quit, when it feels easier to give up, that's the defining moment. That's when the 1% separate themselves from everyone else. They're the ones who don't need motivation because they've built it into their systems. They've cultivated the habits, the mindset, and the discipline to keep moving forward even when the road gets hard. Being part of the 1% isn't just about wealth, status, or recognition. It's about mastering yourself. It's about achieving your highest potential and never letting fear or comfort hold you back. It's about looking at the world and deciding that you're not going to be just another face in the crowd. You were born to lead. You were born to inspire. You were born to rise above. But here's the truth. You will never unlock that potential if you continue to do what everyone else is doing. If you keep following the same old patterns, the same distractions, and the same excuses. You have the power to change your story, but you have to want it badly. You have to want it more than your next meal, more than your next distraction, more than anything else in your life. Because in the end, success isn't about talent. It's about commitment. It's about your willingness to fight for what you want, even when the odds are stacked against you. So the question is simple. Are you ready to do what the 99% won't? Are you ready to take responsibility for your future and start working toward your dreams, even when the world doesn't believe in you? It's time to step up. It's time to start building your future. This is your moment. This is your time. Be among the 1%. Embrace sacrifice and relentless discipline. To join the 1%, you need to understand one thing. Success is built on sacrifice. It's about doing what others are unwilling to do for a period of time with no guarantees. Success isn't handed to you. It's earned. One decision at a time, day after day. And the most successful people aren't the ones who simply hope for things to work out. They're the ones who relentlessly work for what they want, no matter the cost. We all know the dream. We all see the results. The cars, the mansions, the freedom. But what we often overlook is the work that goes into it. The grind, the late nights, the constant battle with doubt and fear. The 1% understand that nothing worth having comes easy. Every step they take is a conscious choice to put in the work, even when it's uncomfortable. Even when others would rather take the shortcut. You have to ask yourself, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to sacrifice your time, your comfort? Are you willing to wake up earlier than everyone else or stay up later than everyone else to get closer to your dreams? The 1% don't just put in the bare minimum. They put in everything they have every single day. They work harder, longer, and smarter than anyone else, knowing that their sacrifices today will lead to the life they want tomorrow. But here's the real test. Can you stick with it when the reward doesn't come instantly? Can you stay disciplined even when the results aren't showing up immediately? The 1% know that success isn't instant. It's a long, winding journey full of twists and turns. But they have one thing in common, an unwavering commitment to their vision. They don't let temporary setbacks derail them. They don't allow the world's distractions to pull them off course. The question you need to answer is, are you ready to put in the work even when no one is cheering for you? Can you maintain your focus when it feels like no one believes in you? When you're working alone in the dark and the rewards seem distant, are you still willing to keep going? This is where most people give up. This is where they get frustrated, tired, and discouraged. But the 1% don't quit. They keep pushing. They understand that every challenge, every failure, and every disappointment is just a stepping stone to success. They know that the more they sacrifice, the closer they get to their dreams. They keep their eyes fixed on the long-term vision, and they refuse to let anything or anyone distract them. Here's a secret. The more you sacrifice now, the greater the reward later. The 1% don't just see success as an end goal. They see it as a lifestyle, one that's earned every day through the choices they make. While others are spending their time on temporary pleasures, the 1% are building empires. They are investing their time, energy, and focus into their growth, and they're doing it with a level of discipline that most people can't fathom. Now, think about this for a moment. What would your life look like if you embraced sacrifice and discipline? If you gave up the distractions, the excuses, the doubts, and the fear? What would happen if you fully committed to your dreams with relentless discipline and consistency? This is where greatness starts, with a decision to do the hard things, to make sacrifices, and to stay disciplined. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment or the right opportunity. It's time to take control of your future, one disciplined choice at a time. Success isn't for the lazy, it's for those who are willing to pay the price. So ask yourself, are you ready to pay that price? Are you willing to embrace the hard work, the sacrifice, and the relentless discipline needed to join the 1%? Because that's the road to greatness, and it's waiting for you. Develop an unstoppable mindset. To be among the 1%, you must first develop a mindset that refuses to be defeated. The journey to success isn't just about what you do, it's about how you think. The 1% have a mental toughness that is almost unshakable. They face the same challenges, doubts, and failures of everyone else. But what separates them is their mindset. It's not enough to be physically tough, you must be mentally tougher. Success starts in your mind. If you can control your thoughts, you can control your actions. The 1% understand that your mindset shapes your reality. If you allow negativity to take root, if you let doubt or fear cloud your thinking, you'll never reach the heights you desire. But when you cultivate a mindset that is focused, positive, and relentless, nothing can stop you. The power of a strong mindset is that it helps you push through the hard times. When setbacks happen, and they will, the 1% don't give up. They don't wallow in failure. They take failure as a lesson, a step forward, and they use it to fuel their next move. They know that setbacks are just the universe's way of preparing them for something bigger. They understand that nothing worth having is easy, so instead of letting failure define them, they use it as motivation to come back stronger. Having an unstoppable mindset means embracing the grind. It means developing the ability to keep going when you feel like quitting. It means staying focused when the world around you is telling you to give up. The 1% don't let temporary discomfort stop them from achieving their long-term goals. They know that the hard work today will lead to the success of tomorrow, and that belief is unwavering. But here's the thing, developing a mindset like this isn't easy. It takes practice. It takes consistency. It's not about having positive thoughts one day and giving up the next. It's about training your mind to stay focused on your goals regardless of what's happening in your external world. It's about learning to block out the noise and stay true to your path even when things are tough. When life gets hard, the 1% stay calm, they trust the process, and they never lose sight of the bigger picture. Their mindset is not dependent on the immediate outcome. They're not discouraged by small failures, because they know that the road to success is filled with obstacles. They are focused on the long-term vision, not the temporary struggles. This is where most people fall short. They don't have the patience to see things through. They expect instant results and are devastated when things don't happen quickly. But success is not a sprint, it's a marathon. The 1% have the endurance to keep going even when it feels like they're running on empty. They understand that slow progress is still progress, and they take consistent, deliberate action toward their goals every single day. You see, your mindset is everything. It's the foundation of your success. The 1% know this, and that's why they protect their mental space at all costs. They feed their minds with positivity, discipline, and purpose. They surround themselves with people who encourage them to be better. They read, learn, and grow constantly. They make sure their minds are sharp and focused on what they can control: their thoughts, their actions, and their future. Now ask yourself, what kind of mindset do you have? Are you someone who lets doubts and fears control your decisions? Or are you someone who stays focused even when life throws challenges your way? If you want to join the 1%, you must develop the mental fortitude to never give up. Your mindset is your most powerful tool. It can either hold you back or propel you forward. Choose wisely. Take consistent and focused action. The difference between the 1% and the rest is that they don't just dream. They act. They don't sit around waiting for opportunities to fall into their laps. They create those opportunities by taking consistent, focused action. It's not enough to simply have a vision or set goals. You must work relentlessly towards them every single day. Taking consistent action means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means putting in the hours, making the sacrifices, and doing the hard work even when it seems like no one is watching or when the results don't come immediately. The 1% understand that success isn't a quick fix. It's a result of small, deliberate actions compounded over time. They know that nothing worthwhile ever comes easily, and they're willing to put in the work. One of the reasons why most people fail to reach their goals is because they lack consistency. They're motivated for a short period, but when the initial excitement wears off, they stop. They lose momentum and fall back into their old habits. The 1%, on the other hand, maintain a level of consistency that few can match. They keep moving forward no matter how slow the progress may seem, because they know that every small action brings them one step closer to their ultimate vision. But consistency alone is not enough. Focus is equally important. The 1% are incredibly focused on their goals. They know exactly what they want, and they eliminate distractions to make sure they stay on track. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with distractions. Social media, entertainment, news, and other people's opinions. It's easy to lose focus and get pulled in different directions, but the 1% understand that in order to achieve extraordinary success, they must protect their time and energy. Focus means saying no to things that don't align with your goals. It means making difficult choices and prioritizing what truly matters. The 1% don't waste time on activities that don't contribute to their vision. They don't get caught up in the noise. They know that every minute of their day is valuable, and they guard it fiercely. If something isn't helping them move forward, it's not worth their time. To take focused action, you must have clarity. The 1% are crystal clear about what they want and how they plan to achieve it. They break their big goals down into manageable tasks and prioritize them based on importance. This clarity allows them to stay laser-focused and avoid getting sidetracked by less important things. If you don't know where you're going, it's easy to get lost along the way. But when you have a clear vision and a plan, every action you take brings you closer to your destination. However, focus and consistency are not just about working hard, they're also about working smart. The 1% don't waste time reinventing the wheel. They learn from others who have walked the path before them. They seek mentors, study successful people, and apply what they've learned to accelerate their progress. They're constantly improving their skills, expanding their knowledge, and refining their strategies. Remember, it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter and staying disciplined in your approach. Every step, every action is part of the bigger picture. And when you combine consistent action with laser-sharp focus, you position yourself to join the 1%. So ask yourself, are you taking consistent focused action toward your dreams? Or are you letting distractions and laziness stand in your way? The path to success is carved by your actions, not your intentions. It's time to stop dreaming and start doing. The 1% are out there and they are not waiting for the world to change. They are making the change themselves, one focused action at a time. Embrace the struggles and failures. To be among the 1%, you must be willing to embrace struggles and failures. This is one of the most crucial lessons that separates the elite from the average. Most people shy away from discomfort. They see failure as a reason to give up. They see challenges as signs they should stop. But the 1% understand something different. They see struggles and failures as stepping stones, not obstacles. Every success story is filled with setbacks, disappointments, and failures. The road to success is rarely a straight line. In fact, it's often a winding path filled with bumps, detours, and dead ends. The 1% embrace this reality. They know that no meaningful achievement comes without a cost, and that cost often includes overcoming adversity. They don't avoid challenges. They seek them out. They know that facing difficulty head-on is where growth happens. The average person might see a failure as the end of the road. They might think, I tried, and it didn't work out. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. But the 1% see failure as feedback. They understand that each failure teaches them something valuable. It teaches them what doesn't work, and brings them closer to discovering what does work. The key is learning from these failures, adjusting, and coming back even stronger. When you're in the midst of failure or struggle, it's easy to feel defeated. The weight of challenges can feel overwhelming and the temptation to quit is often strong. But the 1% push through. They understand that every failure is a lesson in disguise. They use it to sharpen their skills, refine their strategy, and build their resilience. Failure doesn't stop them, it fuels them. It's this unshakable mindset that propels them to greatness. In fact, failure is often the greatest teacher. The people who are the most successful are usually the ones who have failed the most. They've fallen, gotten back up and tried again, sometimes many times. But with each failure, they've gotten closer to their breakthrough. They've built resilience, determination, and character. These qualities are essential to reaching the top. You can't reach your full potential if you don't learn how to handle adversity. The 1% understand that challenges are inevitable. They don't ask, why me, when things go wrong. Instead, they ask, what can I learn from this? They take ownership of their failures and they use them to grow. They don't let setbacks define them. They let their responses to setbacks define them. When you can master the art of resilience, when you can get back up every time you're knocked down, that's when you begin to separate yourself from the crowd. Another important aspect of embracing failure is the ability to be patient with the process. Success doesn't happen overnight. The 1% know that achieving greatness requires time, effort, and perseverance. They don't rush the process, and they don't expect instant results. They understand that true success is built on a foundation of continuous effort, even when the rewards aren't immediately visible. If you want to be among the 1%, you must be willing to fail, learn, adapt, and keep going. You must be willing to face challenges not with fear or hesitation, but with the belief that every struggle is an opportunity for growth. When you start viewing failure as part of the journey and not the end, you'll begin to realize that success is inevitable, and you'll know, deep down, that no matter how tough the road may seem, you are more than capable of walking it. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for you to make a choice. To embrace the relentless journey of greatness or to let life pass you by, settling for mediocrity. You've heard the truth today. Success isn't handed to you, it's earned through sacrifice, discipline, and an unwavering mindset. To be among the 1%, you must first choose to rise above the crowd. It starts with a decision. A decision to take control of your future and commit to building your legacy. As we've discussed, the path to success is never easy. It's not about being the smartest, the most talented, or waiting for that one lucky break. The true difference between the 1% and everyone else is the mindset. The 1% are relentless, disciplined, and focused. They embrace challenges and turn setbacks into opportunities. They understand that success isn't a straight line. It's a series of small, consistent steps, and these steps require sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. It's not enough to simply dream. You have to take action. You have to wake up every day ready to put in the work, even when no one is watching, even when the results aren't immediate. The 1% don't wait for motivation. They create it with their habits, their routines, and their relentless pursuit of their goals. This journey is about developing mental toughness, about training your mind to stay focused on the bigger picture. It's about staying calm in the face of adversity and trusting that every failure is a lesson that will eventually lead you to success. The world will test you, life will throw challenges your way, but if you have the right mindset, nothing can stop you. Now, let me ask you again, are you ready to pay the price for your success? Are you ready to step up and take responsibility for your future? Are you willing to embrace sacrifice, build unshakable discipline, and develop a mindset that refuses to be defeated? The 1% don't wait for life to give them what they want. They go out and take it. They build their dreams, one decision, one action at a time. This is your moment. Your time to rise above the ordinary. Your time to create a life that reflects your true potential. The path to greatness isn't easy, but it is available to those who are willing to fight for it. You have everything it takes to be among the 1%. So let me leave you with this. Success is not a matter of luck. It's about relentless action. It's about decisions you make today that will determine your future. The question is, will you be one of the few who rise above the noise and make it to the top? Will you put in the work, embrace the sacrifices, and never give up, no matter what? It's your time. Step up, rise above, and start building the life you were meant to live. Become part of the 1%. The world is waiting for you. Now, go out and claim your success.